Hey everyone, welcome to our deep dive. And today we are going to be talking all about gratitude. And we're taking a look at this topic through two really different sources. We have a research paper and we have a blog post. So one's going to be really scientific, one is going to be more personal and anecdotal. So we're really going to get both sides of the story. Now, it's not just going to be about what gratitude is, but we are going to look at WHY. It is so powerful and how you can actually use it to improve your life.
You know what's really interesting about these sources is they actually highlight the many different types of gratitude that you can experience. Like gratitude for the people in your life,
Yeah.
gratitude for things that you have, even gratitude for the challenges that you face.
Ooh, gratitude for challenges. That's
Yeah.
that's a new one for me. I'm intrigued. But let's start with some basics. So the research paper, which was written for a podcast actually called Finding Calm, defines gratitude as the active appreciation of the good stuff in our lives, like really acknowledging it.
And the science behind this is incredible. It's not just like a feel-good concept. Gratitude actually lights up the reward system in your brain. We're talking about like dopamine and serotonin, those feel-good chemicals going wild in the medial prefrontal cortex. It's like giving your brain a happiness hack.
Whoa, I never thought about gratitude affecting my brain chemistry like that.
Yeah.
That makes me want to take it a lot more seriously. So it's more than just feeling happy. It's actually changing how my brain works.
Exactly. And the benefits.
Yeah.
They extend way beyond just a mood boost. Both sources point to gratitude's amazing impact on our mental and physical health, and even our relationships.
Okay, this is blowing my mind. Tell me more about these benefits.
Okay, so let's start with mental well-being. Research shows that gratitude helps reduce stress by shifting our focus away from negative thoughts.
So instead of dwelling on what's going wrong, we're actively looking for what's right. But wait, is there a danger of gratitude becoming like this forced thing where we're ignoring real problems? How do we avoid that?
That's a great question. And it's important to remember that gratitude isn't about denying or suppressing negative emotions. It's about acknowledging those feelings while also choosing to focus on the positive aspects of our lives. And there's actual science to back this up. One study found that people who practice gratitude have lower levels of cortisol, which is the stress hormone.
So it's like gratitude is giving my brain a spa day with those feel-good chemicals. And CD helping me manage stress hormones. Sign me up. What about the blog post? Does it back this up?
Absolutely. The author shares a really personal story about battling depression and anxiety and how gratitude journaling helped them immensely. Imagine that. Something as simple as writing down what you're grateful for can have such a profound impact on your mental health.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
It's amazing how powerful personal stories can be when it comes to understanding these concepts. It makes it feel much more real than just reading a research paper. And speaking of real, it's not just mental health. Both sources talk about how gratitude can actually boost our physical health too.
I know, right? Better sleep, lower blood pressure, even a stronger immune system. The blog post even mentions a link between gratitude and better heart rate variability, which is a sign of a healthy heart.
Wait, seriously. Gratitude and heart health. I had no idea. That's a game changer. I'm definitely paying attention now. What about relationships? How does gratitude affect those?
That's another area where gratitude really shines. Expressing gratitude to others deepens relationships by building trust and appreciation.
So it's not just about feeling grateful on our own. It's about expressing it to others, showing them we appreciate them. That makes sense.
Exactly. And when we show appreciation, it creates a positive feedback loop. The more gratitude we express, the stronger our relationships become, which makes us want to express even more gratitude. Research shows that gratitude actually leads to better communication and a stronger sense of closeness.
Okay, I'm sold. Gratitude is amazing. But how do we actually make it a habit? It's easy to talk about it, but actually putting it into practice is a whole other thing. Where do we even start?
Well, the sources offer a bunch of really practical tips that can help us incorporate gratitude into our daily lives. And that's what we'll be diving into next. Welcome back to our Gratitude Deep Dive. Before we jumped into the practical stuff, we were talking about how expressing gratitude actually strengthens relationships. It's not just about grand gestures. It's those everyday moments of appreciation that make a real difference.
Oh, absolutely. But I have to admit, sometimes just saying thank you can feel a bit rote. How do we make it more meaningful?
Yeah, that's a good point. That's where the sources get really interesting. They suggest getting specific and focusing on the why behind your thanks. So instead of just, thanks for doing the dishes, try, I really appreciate you doing the dishes it made coming home to a clean kitchen. So relaxing.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, it's like instead of just acknowledging the action, you're acknowledging the impact it had on you. Makes it much more personal.
Exactly. And you can even take it a step further by tying it back to a personal value. For example, I appreciate you always being so punctual. It shows me how much you respect my time, and that means a lot to me.
Okay, that's brilliant. Now, I know we touched on practical tips before the break. What kind of specific exercises do these sources suggest for actually making gratitude a habit?
Well, both the research paper and blog post highlight gratitude journaling as a powerful tool, and they emphasize that consistency is key. It's about making it a regular practice, like brushing your teeth or having your morning coffee.
Okay, I've heard about gratitude journaling, but honestly, sometimes it feels a bit overwhelming. Like, where do I even start?
Well, the blog author had a great tip for this. Start small. Don't try to come up with this huge list of things to be grateful for. Instead, focus on just one or two things each day. Maybe it's the taste of your favorite meal or a beautiful sunset you witnessed. The key is to savor those moments and really appreciate them.
I can totally get behind that small steps, big impact. And the act of actually writing it down, does that really make a difference?
Absolutely. The research paper cites a study where participants who journaled for just 3 weeks experienced increased happiness and a decrease in those pesky depressive symptoms. It's like writing down those positive experiences helps solidify them in our minds.
Okay, that's encouraging. So gratitude journaling check. What other techniques do the sources recommend?
Mindful gratitude reflections are another great practice. It's about taking a few moments throughout the day to really savor the good things, big or small.
Mindful gratitude reflections. That sounds lovely, but I'm a little fuzzy on what that actually looks like in practice.
Sure, the research paper gives some really helpful examples. Like in the morning, you could reflect on something you're looking forward to. Or if you find yourself in a stressful situation, try to find one positive aspect to focus on. It's about training your mind to be more present and appreciative throughout the day.
Oh, so it's like hitting the pause button on autopilot and taking a moment to appreciate the good stuff. I like that. But let's be real, life gets busy. How do we fit these practices into our already jam-packed schedules?
Yeah, both sources address that very concern. They emphasize that it's not about adding more to your to-do list. It's about integrating gratitude into your existing routine. The blog author, for example, sets a daily alarm as a reminder to write down 3 things they're grateful for.
Oh, I love that. Such a simple but effective hack. Makes it much harder to forget. What about incorporating it into other activities?
Exactly. Maybe you reflect on things you're grateful for while you're commuting to work or during your evening walk. The key is to find what works for you and make it a consistent part of your day.
Okay, so we've got gratitude journaling, mindful reflections, and incorporating gratitude into our existing routines. Any other gems these sources offer?
Oh, there are so many. One that I found particularly intriguing was the idea of gratitude walks.
Gratitude walks. I'm picturing strolling through a park feeling all zen and thankful. Tell me more.
It's basically combining physical activity with gratitude, which supercharges the benefits of both. And it's not just about thinking thankful thoughts while you walk. The research suggests really immersing yourself in your surroundings. Notice the sights, the sounds, the smells of nature, and reflect on how much you appreciate those things.
I love that. It's like a walking meditation where you're actively seeking out things to be grateful for.
Exactly. And you can adapt it to your environment. Even if you're in a city, you can focus on the architectural details of buildings, the vibrant street life, or simply the fresh air filling your lungs. It's about being present in the moment
Boo.
and appreciating the beauty that surrounds us wherever we are.
This is all so inspiring, but before we get too carried away, I do want to touch on something important about the potential challenges of gratitude, because let's face it, even with the best intentions, sometimes it's hard to stay consistent.
You're absolutely right. The research paper actually addresses some of the common barriers people face, like negative thought patterns, lack of time, and even skepticism about gratitude's benefits.
Okay, let's unpack those. First up, negative thoughts. I know those can be a real buzzkill when it comes to feeling grateful. How do we combat that negativity?
Well, the research suggests starting small. Like we discussed earlier with journaling, instead of trying to come up with this huge list of things to be grateful for, focus on one or two specific things. Even something as simple as enjoying a favorite song or a delicious meal. It's about shifting your focus even slightly towards the positive.
So like instead of focusing on the giant to-do list looming over me, I could take a moment to appreciate the cozy feeling of my favorite sweater. I can do that.
Exactly. And when it comes to lack of time, Remember, it's about integrating gratitude into your existing routines, those pockets of time that are already there. Waiting for the bus, perfect time for a mini gratitude reflection. Folding laundry, great time to mentally list things you appreciate about your family.
I love that. It's like sneaking in gratitude without having to carve out extra time. Okay, and what about skepticism? I can see how some people might be like, really, gratitude is going to fix all my problems.
That's totally valid. The research emphasizes the importance of connecting with real-life examples.
Mm.
Remember that powerful personal story from the blog post we talked about?
Yeah, the one about how gratitude journaling helped with depression and anxiety. Super impactful.
Exactly. When people hear about others experiencing real benefits from gratitude, it becomes much more believable.
Right, because it's not just some abstract concept anymore. It's something real, something tangible.
Precisely. And that brings us to another key point. Gratitude isn't a magic bullet. It's not going to magically erase all your problems overnight. It's an ongoing practice that requires effort and consistency. But like any skill, the more you practice, the easier it becomes.
So true. It's like building a muscle. The more we exercise those gratitude muscles, the stronger they become. And the research shows that even small, consistent acts of gratitude can have a huge impact over time. But you know what? We've talked a lot about the science and the practical tips, but I'm curious to hear your personal take on all this. What does gratitude mean to you?
That's a great question. For me, gratitude is about shifting my perspective, choosing to see the good even when things are tough. It's about appreciating the everyday miracles that often go unnoticed.
I love that. It's about finding those glimmers of light, even in the midst of challenges. It's like putting on gratitude-colored glasses and seeing the world in a whole new light. But we've got even more to explore in our gratitude journey. Stick with us as we delve into even more practical tips and insights in the final part of our deep dive. Welcome back to our gratitude deep dive. We've been exploring how gratitude can boost our well-being, our relationships, even our physical health. It's amazing how this one practice can impact so many areas of our lives.
It really is. And in this final part, we're diving even deeper into practical strategies for cultivating gratitude. Because knowing about it is one thing, but actually making it a habit, that's where the real magic happens.
Absolutely. And you know me, I'm all about actionable advice. So hit me with those tips. What else can we do to make gratitude a more integrated part of our lives?
One strategy that stood out to me from both sources was the concept of gratitude anchors. Have you ever heard of those?
Gratitude anchors. Not ringing a bell. Fill me in.
Think of it as linking a gratitude practice to something you already do regularly. It's like turning an everyday routine into a gratitude trigger.
Oh, that's clever. So instead of gratitude being this separate thing, I have to remember it becomes part of my existing habits. I'm liking this already. Give me some examples.
Well, every time you brush your teeth, you could think of one person you're grateful for. Or while you're waiting for your coffee to brew, you could list 3 things you appreciate about your home.
I can totally see myself doing that. It's such a simple but effective way to weave gratitude into my day without having to overhaul my whole routine.
Exactly. And it can be anything. Maybe every time your phone rings, you pause for a second to appreciate the technology that allows you to connect with loved ones. Or each time you buckle your seatbelt, you take a moment to reflect on the safety and freedom your car provides. The possibilities are truly endless.
Wow, I'm already brainstorming all sorts of gratitude anchors. This is great. What other gems did you uncover in those sources?
This one is especially for our visually minded folks. Both sources mention the idea of a gratitude jar.
Ooh, a gratitude jar. I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
It's as simple as it sounds. A jar or any container you like where you collect little notes of things you're grateful for. Throughout the week, jot down moments big or small that brought you joy or sparked a feeling of thankfulness.
So it's like a physical collection of all the good stuff. I bet it's amazing to read through those notes later on, especially on a day when you're feeling down or just need a little reminder of all the good in your life.
It really is. And it can be a wonderful family activity, too. Imagine everyone contributing to the jar and then sharing their notes during a special dinner or gathering.
Oh, I love that. What a beautiful way to create a tradition centered around gratitude. And speaking of traditions, the research paper also touched upon establishing a gratitude ritual. What exactly did they mean by that?
It's about setting aside dedicated time for gratitude, whether it's daily, weekly, or even monthly. The key is to make it a deliberate and intentional practice.
So what kind of rituals are we talking about here? Paint me a picture.
It could be something as simple as lighting a candle each evening and reflecting on the day's blessings, or perhaps a weekly family dinner where everyone shares something they're grateful for. Maybe you create a monthly gratitude ritual where you write a heartfelt letter of appreciation to someone special.
I love those ideas. Having a dedicated time and space for gratitude makes it so much more intentional, like you're really giving it the attention it deserves.
Exactly. It's about creating a container for gratitude to flourish in your life. But rituals aside, there's one simple yet powerful practice we haven't mentioned yet.
Ooh, lay it on me. What's the secret weapon?
It's as easy as expressing gratitude to others directly. And I don't just mean a casual thank you. We're talking genuine, heartfelt expressions of appreciation.
I see what you mean. It's about putting more heart into our thanks, being specific about what we're grateful for and why. But what if we're struggling to find things to be thankful for?
That's where some of the other techniques we've discussed come in. Remember the gratitude anchors and mindful reflections. Those can help us tune in to those little moments of joy and appreciation that we might otherwise overlook. And even if you're going through a tough time, try challenging yourself to find just one small thing to be grateful for. Maybe it's the support of a loved one, a warm bed to sleep in, or simply the breath flowing in and out of your lungs.
That's such a great reminder. Gratitude isn't about ignoring the challenges, it's about finding those glimmers of light, even in the darkness. But even with all these amazing tips, it's easy to fall off track. What advice do you have for those times when we're feeling stuck or discouraged?
First and foremost, be kind to yourself. Building any new habit takes time and effort. Don't beat yourself up if you miss a day or two. Just gently guide yourself back to the practice. Remember, it's about progress, not perfection.
So true. And I think it's important to remember that gratitude is a journey, not a destination. It's something we cultivate over time, not something we achieve overnight.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And one of the most beautiful things about gratitude is that it has a ripple effect. When we practice gratitude, it not only benefits us individually, but it also impacts those around us.
I love that. It's like a chain reaction of positivity.
Yeah, exactly. When we express gratitude to others, it makes them feel seen and appreciated, and that can inspire them to pay forward, creating a beautiful cycle of kindness and appreciation.
This has been such an incredible deep dive. We've explored the science of gratitude, uncovered practical tips, and even tackled potential challenges.
Yeah.
I feel like we've given our listener a comprehensive toolkit for cultivating more gratitude in their life.
I couldn't agree more. And now it's time to put all this knowledge into action.
Exactly.
All right.
So we want to leave you with this. What's one small act of gratitude you can do today to start experiencing these amazing benefits?
And to really solidify this commitment, why not share it with us or someone you're grateful for? Let's create a wave of gratitude, spreading those positive vibes far and wide.
We can't wait to hear about your gratitude journeys. Until next time, keep those gratitude muscles